are wondering what this is all about, if you are new, we conducted a survey of international students, 100 of them, asking them about the challenges that they face in the United States and how they have potentially coped with some of these challenges. And this was to help potential international students or prospective students that are settling down on what to expect and how to cope with some of these challenges. So let's talk about food. Food. How would you say international students should deal with potential food challenges?
I would say once you get into the United States, I would advise that you mix with people of your race, right? People, maybe you are Asian, mix with Asian people. They will direct you on how to get your food, like your whatever Asian food,
or Asian stores around you.
around you. And for Africans, sure, somebody is ready to put you through. There's always African stores, Asian stores where you can buy stuff around your vicinity.
And I would say whenever you are coming in to the United States for the first time, you have the opportunity to have at least 2 big bags, right? So you can come with your local stuff, maybe in one bag. That's what we usually do. Like, you just fill up one 23 kg bag with local food stuff. So you can start with that, but eventually you will have to ease into what is obtainable in terms of food in your environment. And I would say, even though you have African or Asian stores or whatever stores around you, you should still try to explore the local food in the community, okay? I mean, why are you here if you're not going to explore, right? So explore, go to restaurants. What we usually do sometimes is, once a week, we just, move around restaurants in Stillwater, Oklahoma, where we had our graduate studies. So we've eaten in almost all the restaurants at least once a week. So it's an experience on its own. So you should try to do that in the community as well. You're contributing to the community that way. Before we leave that subject, what's your favorite American food?
American food.
Well, food that you can find in America that is not African.
That I love.
What's your favorite?
My favorite is burrito.
Burritos, yeah.
My favorite is burrito.
That's our favorite.
Yeah, burritos.
So, although burritos are not really Americans mostly for burgers and all that stuff.
Yeah, for mainly Americans, I just go with pizza.
Yeah,
pizza.
I mean, people will argue that even pizza is not American, it's Italian. But it's okay. But I mean,
that's just what I like. I really don't go for burgers or sandwiches. No, I don't do that because I'm not just.
So burritos, any Mexican restaurants will usually have burritos. I recommend that you try one in your locality.
Sure.
It's always a lifesaver for me, especially. So let's move on. Now, the next one, 35% of our respondents said that the financial struggle here compared to the expectation back home. Now, this one feels a little bit personal to me. But let me get your thoughts on that. So what do you think people mean? Explain what we mean here, and if you can give us an advice. If I'm a new student, how would you say I should handle it? I'm putting you on the spot here, so I'm sorry.
This is it. This issue is very controversial, I would say. Because advising somebody on finances, it can go right or wrong, I would advise that, people have their notion about what exactly you're making here. They believe you are a millionaire already, even maybe spending few months. They believe you have the money to send to them in wherever country you came from. And I would just say you have to still be prudent about everything, because at the end of the day, they will continue to get it, like come back and ask for this and that,
It never
because
stops.
it never stops, because they believe that you can take them out of poverty. And they don't even know you are still struggling wherever you are.
Whatever
So
stipend
I would
you are
say,
making as a student,
it's still a lot to
you're
them.
still below the poverty or somewhere around the poverty level when it comes to living in the United States. So you're not making a lot.
Yeah. So I would say be prudent. Whatever you are doing, maybe you should just try to help your immediate family first. You cannot, I don't know, you cannot help everybody. But the first thing should be your immediate family. First, target, I would say, should be your family, your immediate family. And then siblings. If you have your mom, your dad, siblings and all that, but if you have enough, because you can't have enough. I know, right? You can't have enough, but people will still keep coming back. So you don't want to be like, okay, I want to do this for you and you and you and you, and then you end up being in debt here in the United States. Please,
if you are not careful, you would
watch it.
You would end
people
up in
will
debt,
drain
man.
you. So it's better you try as much as possible to just be prudent about your spending, so that you can have your own life going on. You can have your savings and not just be on debt on credit card. So that is my advice for you.
So credit card debts can easily rack up, right? So you can easily rack up credit card debts while you are sending money home. So you want to make sure that you preserve your credit history. You want to make sure that whatever balance you have on your credit cards, you pay them fully at the end of the month. I mean, I'm telling you all this because I've been.
You want to say your experience?
No. I'm not gonna share my experience. Maybe some other time. Maybe we'll do another video specifically on finances. But just know that, prepare that you will receive a lot of financial help, financial requests from friends, sometimes family, extended family, sometimes people that are not really close to you, but because they see that your location has changed, they will think you are making all the money. Yes, you are making some money, but most of the money you are making, you will eventually have to spend it here. Paying some of your fees. Of course, you want to eat relatively good food. You want to at least dress relatively okay compared to your colleagues. Of course, you want to help people, but just prepare that you cannot help everybody rather. Because if you get drawn into that trap, you would be in thousands of debts by the time you finish your studies. You don't want to do that.
Exactly.
So let's just leave that for now. We'll talk about that in another video.
Okay.
Food. Let's talk about food. This person said food was too sugary and too salty compared to what I was used to. There was food everywhere and in virtually every event. True. But I was surprised to learn that some individuals were food insecure. Interesting. So it's true that almost every event on campus will have food. So that's an additional incentive to attend local events, right? To taste different food. And a lot of people are still poor here. A lot of people are still food insecure. Like what you see in Hollywood movies, right? So that goes on as well here. The last comment I want to go through is an interesting one on finances.
Oh, okay.
More than half of my stipend goes to pay the rent of my apartment.
As a student?
Right. I also pay a significant amount of money in student fees. So the same thing will apply to you. So most of your money will go to rent. And most of the time you will still have some student fees, even though for graduate students that have assistantships, most of the time, depending on your school anyway, but most of the time your assistantship will cover your tuition, but there are some fees
that you still
have to pay that might run into thousands, maybe $1,500 or something. So you still have to pay that from your stipend or whatever you are working for. Maybe you are working in the dining or something. So those are expenses, real expenses on ground. So you don't want to be too extravagant with your giving. Let me just put it like that.
Yeah.
So, like I said, those are just few comments. We have over 20 respondents, I think 25 or 26 if I remember, that gave comments on, solid comments on what you should expect and how to deal with some of these things. If you want to see that, please read all of them on my Medium page, Babajide Ojo. I'll put it in the description below, and I might put it on the screen as well, so that you can read all the comments and have an understanding of what to expect or what to potentially expect when you get to the United States. So let's start with food. So when it comes to Asian students, 33% of Asian students said food is a challenge in the United States as new international students, while 38% of Africans said food was a challenge. So that's a little bit close. They are not too different from each other. Right, so the next one is the financial struggle. This one was a little bit surprising because, or enlightening, let me put it that way. So 38% of Asian students chose that financial struggle as a challenge, financial struggle when they are students. Now, for African students, 34% of African students said the financial struggle in the US is a challenge. I said it was enlightening because I thought Africans would significantly carry this. But I usually have this notion of Asians in the US as, like the rich people, right? The rich non-immigrants or immigrants in the US. But turns out we
are probably on the same
we are on the same
38 to 34, there is no much difference. So we say it's I would say it's surprising for the most part, but it's also a little bit expected somehow, because at the end of the day, the economy in US is still booming compared to Asia,
Most of the Asian countries.
So I would say we still have a lot of poverty going on in Asia, in Africa, so we still expect that a lot of them will beckon on students in the United States,
siblings
or friends.
Please send
me
this.
Send me that, because they believe you are doing better than them. So a little bit surprising.
I thought it was enlightening because I thought
it is
for African students, like we will probably take more percentage than Asian students.
We have come to the end of this video, and thank you for watching till now. Until we see you next time, stay blessed.
Peace.